Apparently, you all like wrestling.
Yes!
Specifically, world-class championship wrestling that was based in Dallas, Texas in the 1980s. All I can say is you got good taste. So, as a follow-up to an earlier video, here's 5 more world-class championship wrestling matches, not owned by WWE, on YouTube. Number 1, Michael Hayes versus Mike Reed. Michael Hayes has played a part in popularizing a lot of things that are commonplace in pro wrestling today. Entering the ring to rock music, making his own entrance music, and the 3-man tag team to name just a few. Mike Reed, well, he was a wrestler too. Though popular with a lot of world-class fans, Reed definitely racked up more losses than wins in his career. In this video from October of 1983, we get to see what is likely the highlight of Mike Reed's career. Reed's opponent, Michael Hayes, was upset with referee David Manning because of a previous altercation between Manning and Hayes' Freebird partner Buddy Roberts. When things turned physical between Hayes and Manning, Reed took advantage and scored a pinfall, much to the delight of the Fort Worth crowd. Hayes, of course, was not happy. Make sure to stick around for the end of the video to see the aftermath when Hayes returns later to interrupt an interview with Mike Von Erich. Number 2, David Von Erich, Chris Adams, and Iceman Parsons versus Michael Hayes, the Mongol, and Kamala. 6-man tag team matches were a signature in world-class wrestling, due in large part to the long-running feud between the Von Erichs and the Freebirds. In this match from October 1983, a great mix of teams put several different feuds in the ring at once. Von Erich and Kamala were in the middle of their feud. Chris Adams had a long-standing feud with the Mongol, while Iceman Parsons had been having problems with manager Skandar Akbar's Devastation Incorporated. And of course, the Von Erich Freebird feud was represented with David and Hayes. By the end of the match, a new feud was born. Michael Hayes was tagging with the Akbar-led team because of an injury to another member of the stable. It was billed as Kamala's first tag team match, and the Ugandan giant was having some trouble understanding what to do, which frustrated Hayes. A simple shove on Akbar from Hayes would create a triangle feud, as the Von Erichs also feuded with Akbar over the years. Number 3, Terry Gordy versus the Missing Link. In a way, the fabulous Freebirds were in a strange position in world class. When their legendary feud with the Von Erichs began, they were immediately the most hated wrestlers in the territory, but they still had their fans. When the Freebirds started feuding with Skandar Akbar's Devastation Incorporated, the fans would cheer them, while still booing them and chanting "Go Home Freebirds" if they were facing the Von Erichs or any other fan favorites. That might tell you just how much the fans hated Skandar Akbar and anybody in the stable. Probably the 2 toughest members of the groups were Terry Gordy of the Freebirds and the strange Missing Link from Devastation Incorporated. This match between the two in December of 1984 is short, but gives a good hint at how wild it could get between the 2 factions. There's also a blink-and-you'll-miss-it fireball attempt by Akbar that doesn't quite pan out the way he intended before he and Link run to the back. Number 4, Chris Adams versus Gino Hernandez. Eventually, Chris Adams and Gino Hernandez would make up one of the more memorable tag teams in world class, the Dynamic Duo. Having long runs as the American Tag Team Champions, as well as 2/3 of the 6-man Tag Team Champions with Jake Roberts, Adams and Hernandez are regarded by many as the most successful wrestlers not named Von Erich to come out of world class. All of that happened after Chris Adams' heel turn in September 1984. This match from June pits the still babyface Adams against the hated Hernandez in the battle for the TV championship. It's a great match between 2 of the better technical wrestlers in the territory, along with some good old-fashioned pro wrestling shtick as Hernandez reacts to being taunted by the crowd. Even without knowing where the 2 were headed, it's an enjoyable match, and nobody knew a few months later they would be teaming and battling fan favorites while Adams had hated manager Gary Hart in his corner. Number 5, David Von Erich versus Ric Flair. Many wrestling fans believe the tragic and unexpected death of David Von Erich in February 1984 not only changed the future of world-class wrestling, but the future of pro wrestling in general. Before February, things were being set up for David to beat Flair for the NWA World Championship at Texas Stadium. According to Flair, the original plan was for he and David to trade the belt back and forth over the next few years. This match from the Christmas Star Wars card in 1983 is one of the few televised matches between David and Flair, and it gives a taste of what might have been at Texas Stadium that coming May, including what was considered a flamboyant entrance for the time. David's brother Kerry also makes an appearance to provide moral support for David during a match lasting nearly 30 minutes. Take note of the fans lining up by the ring to get autographs before the match starts, something you would never see today. It's definitely a product of the time. Please keep in mind all of these videos are recorded by fans via VCR off KTVT Channel 11 out of Dallas, so the video quality may not always be the highest. These fan-made videos are the only videos in existence of wrestling on Channel 11, as the station actually recorded over the original tapes of the broadcast, which is why they were not included in WWE's purchase of the world-class library. You can get to all of these matches by clicking the icon in the upper right-hand corner or the link in the description. If you like this episode of 5 Things and would like to see more, check out the 5 Things playlist, or check out one of the other videos on the channel. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, not necessarily in that order, and I will see you next time.